Guys, so this video is going to be a little bit different from my usual videos. As you can see, I didn't have my intro at the beginning. I don't even really feel like introducing myself, but I just wanted to talk about what happened at my school. As you guys may know, I mentioned my school quite a bit in my videos. Like, I'll talk about how one of my majors was theater, and I don't know, just from time to time I'll mention my school. And I've done videos about college and things like that. And I don't know if you guys heard, I'm pretty sure most of you probably have, but there was a shooting at UNCC. In any of my videos where I've mentioned my college or my school, I've talked about college related things. I was referring to UNCC. I don't know, I just feel like I need to get this off of my chest and just make a video about it. I've went back and forth about if I want to make a video about it. I'm like thinking about minor things, like what if people from school find out about my YouTube channel? And for those of you that don't know, I don't post my YouTube channel on like my personal pages or anything, not because I'm scared of what people may think about my channel. I really don't care, but it's more so I just don't want people from school just all up in my business, like on my social media sites really related to my YouTube channel. But other than that, I mean, I really don't care, and I've decided that I'm going to post this video regardless. So on April 30th, I was at my friend Michelle's house, who I just so happened to have met at UNCC, by the way. I talk about her quite a bit in my videos too. I actually met her at UNCC. But basically I was at her house. We were just in her room chilling like we usually do. And her brother, who currently attends UNCC, came into her room and told us that he had just received a text from the campus saying that there was an active shooter on site and to run, fight, or hide. He told us that. I was just like, what? And I can't say that I was completely surprised, because I remember being in class at UNCC multiple times after hearing about different shootings that have happened, like just like the Pulse nightclub shooting and the just different shootings that have happened over the years, just school shootings around the world, different things like that. And I remember being in classes thinking, what if somebody in here has a gun? What would I do? Which door would I run out of? What if they're right next to me? What if they're behind me? What if they're in front of me? Where would I go? How would I try to maneuver around that and get out of her safely? Would I hide? Would I run? Would I try to fight them? What would I do? I would always be thinking that in a lot of my classes, especially like the really big lecture classes. I told you guys that I was a theater major. I have 3 degrees from UNCC, but theater was like I like to call it like my main degree, because that was the initial degree I started out with. And the theater department, I never really felt like that much. I always felt safer in the theater department because we were all so close knit and pretty much everybody knew each other in one way or another. So you never really felt like you felt like you knew these people enough to know that that wouldn't happen there. But when I would be in my other courses, like classes that I had to take, like science classes and like my core classes and stuff that I had to take, I would be thinking, you know, I don't know really any of these people in this class. This is a really big class. What would I do if this were to happen? And I would always be thinking that. And part of me was like, this could happen anywhere. I know that it can happen anywhere. You might feel safer some places, like at UNCC. UNCC is one of those places where I felt safer, but you're never 100% safe anywhere. Even in your own home, you're not 100% safe. I just remember thinking that, but then as time went on, nothing crazy like that ever happened. So I just kind of felt like, well, you know, if this does happen, this might never happen. Or if it does, it might be years and years and years from now when I'm in my 30s or 40s or something. So I graduated at the beginning of 2017. I walked across the stage, all of that. I finished 2 of my degrees, and then I came back for 2 more semesters. So fall of 2018 and spring of 2018, I had picked up another degree because I only need 8 classes to get the degree. And I was kind of prolonging going to graduate school because I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And so I didn't officially finish until spring of last year, 2018. The shooting happened in a building on campus called Kennedy. I met Michelle, my best friend that I talk about on here quite a bit, and she's in like my FaceTime prank video and stuff like that. I met her directly across from Kennedy, like across from that building and another building. And the theater buildings are pretty much right across from Kennedy. And the last class that I ever took, spring of 2018, the last class I ever had to go to do a final, anything like that, just so happened to be in Kennedy, the building where the shooting happened. And I think something that really like bothers me a lot, and I'm sorry if I get emotional, but I think something that really like has been getting to me and that I've been thinking about a lot is the fact that if this were a year ago, I could have been in that building. And I could have, if this happened a year ago, I would have been in that building potentially, depending on the time and day. But still, it's just scary to think that the last building I ever had a class in is where that happened. The shooter was this guy that basically was enrolled in a class. It was an anthropology course. He was enrolled in it earlier this semester, spring 2019, and he withdrew from the class towards the end of January, I guess. And basically that's the class that he went back in and started firing his pistol. He killed 2 people and injured 4 others. One of the guys that he killed actually jumped on him to stop him from shooting other people and ended up getting killed. I read an article last night from the professor that was actually teaching that course, and the professor went into detail about how the shooter was one of his students at the beginning of the semester, how he had even ran into the shooter towards the end of January, beginning of February, and told him it was unfortunate how he had dropped the course and different things like that. And the professor kind of went into detail about everything that happened. And I will leave that link in the description below because I think it's important for us to know that professor's story if you can handle it. For me, I'm surprised I was even able to read all of it because hearing about schools shootings at other places is a lot different when you hear about it at your own school. And UNCC was always some place that, like I said, I felt somewhat safe. Like 90% of me felt safe. There were times where I would be in theater productions and I would have to walk to my car at night. Sometimes I would do it alone. I never felt 100% safe because I just feel like it's kind of naive to feel 100% safe anywhere outside of your home. Maybe in your home, okay, even though you're not 100% safe there either. But at UNCC, I always felt mostly safe, and it's just unfortunate that that happened there. I don't know how to feel. Last night I had like a panic attack after just reading the professor's article, and I don't know, that just made it a lot more real for me. Not saying that it wasn't before, but just hearing about somebody that was actually there made it a lot more real. Quite a few of my friends were on campus when the shooting happened. Luckily, they were safe. I didn't know any of the people that got hurt. May the people that passed away rest in peace. But I remember texting my friend Ginger, and as soon as Michelle's brother told us what was going on and stuff, and we see all this stuff on the news, I texted Ginger right away. She's one of my friends that I knew was probably on campus, and she just so happened to be, and she told me that they were hiding in the dressing rooms of the theater building. And it's just weird because it's like I was in shows and I remember being in the dressing rooms and having so much fun there and having so many memories there, and I never would have thought that a few years later my friends would be hiding in a dressing room to spare their lives. I don't know, it just hurts me because UNCC is such a great school, and this makes a lot of people who are probably enrolled to go there next year, or people that were thinking about going back and different things like that, it probably makes them feel so scared, and it makes them feel like they won't be safe. And it's just terrible that they have to feel like that. I have thought countless times about going back, and I believe everything happens for a reason, whether it's a very small minuscule reason or if it's a big one. And I think there's a reason why I didn't go back for my graduate degree when I plan to. If I had went back in the fall like I was initially planning to, I probably would have been on campus when this happened. I just don't want anybody that is thinking about going there to be scared to go there. I understand why you are scared, but I don't want anybody that's thinking about going back or, starting their college years there. I don't want them to feel terrified. And I've spent so much time on that campus the past 5 years. I actually still go back from time to time. If you follow me on Twitter, I post dance videos and stuff like that I do with one of my friends on campus. And I was just there January, coming up with a new dance to post on here. I don't know. It's just terrible that had to happen there. And it didn't have to. It's just terrible that it did. I'm not sure what the shooter's motive was. I really don't know. According to reports, he didn't have a motive really. But the fact that he went back to a class that he was enrolled in earlier this semester, it leads me to believe that maybe he went back and did what he did for some sort of reason. Something must have made him upset. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking, but who knows, honestly. I'm thankful for the people that risk their lives for other people, like the professor that I told you guys about who was teaching the course, and Riley Howell, I think was his name, the one that jumped on the shooter to try to stop him. And the professor had said in the article that somebody in the class had yelled at the shooter to stop shooting, and then he just said, "Okay, I'm done now." That's all it took was for somebody to ask you to stop. I'm just so mind boggled, and I'm so sad that this happened here. One of my coworkers actually told me that he had walked right past the shooter a little bit before the shooting happens. He walks past him. I think he said he was sitting on a bench, kind of just looking down. And my coworker said he didn't think anything of it. He just thought, it was just a ordinary student. He didn't think anything suspicious or out of the ordinary of it. And I probably wouldn't have either. But he said once he saw the news after he had left campus or whatever, luckily nothing happened to him, but he saw the news and he said the guy had on the same shirt and it was the exact same guy. I was like, wow, you really dodged that, because who knows, what if he had started shooting right then and there or something. I don't know, it's just scary. I've thought about it, and I probably will go back to UNCC plenty of times, because I don't want to let this scare me away from a place that I love so much, because shootings can happen anywhere you go. You can get robbed anywhere you go. You can get hurt anywhere you go. And I don't want to be scared to go places that I really like and places that I really want to go, especially in my hometown. It's just really sad that all of this happened. I don't even know what to make of it. I have been contemplating, should I just post a regular gaming video? Should I just, act like nothing happened? But I can't do that. I can't do it anymore. I can't just post a gaming video and not talk about this, because this is something that is really has really changed my life forever, honestly. Even though I wasn't there, thankfully, but a year ago I could have been there in that same building. I could have been on campus to see some of my friends. I mean, it was the last day of classes. It's sad that 2 people won't be able to graduate because somebody took their lives. It's sad that some people might not be able to walk because they're injured and they're in the hospital and they have to recover. It's sad that parents won't be able to see their children walk across the stage because they're no longer with us, and it's not fair. It's heartbreaking for me because I have so many amazing memories on that campus, and I'm not gonna say I never thought this would happen there, but I felt like it was a very, very, very small chance of it happening there. I have so many amazing memories on that campus. I remember when I first enrolled and I got accepted and I had to stay on campus for a night. It was required of us to spend the night for orientation. We had to spend the night in a dorm. it was, the one I stayed in was like a suite. It had 4 different rooms. I had my own room. I remember being terrified to go to that campus to spend the night. I was like, I don't know anybody here. I feel weird being here. I feel weird spending the night on a campus where I know nobody. I feel strange sleeping somewhere I'm not familiar with. But I had a great time. I met a lot of cool people. I really enjoyed it. I'm also a part of a sorority there, and I've had so many memories from that. Being in the theater department, I've had so many memories. The last class I took in Kennedy last spring in 2018 was one of my favorite classes. I never would have thought that all of that stuff would just kind of be, I don't want to say my memories are ruined, because my memories will always be important to me and I will always remember them for what they were at the time. But when you think about what happened there on April 30th, it kind of makes you feel like those memories are tarnished in a way. When I go back to campus, I'm not going to think of the good times. I'm going to think of how a shooter was on my campus. I was getting so many emails about it from the chancellor and just the campus saying, there's a shooter on campus, there's an active shooter, make sure you hide or run or fight and different things like that. And I was like, I never thought that I would get this on my phone from UNCC. I never would have guessed it, but I'm thankful that they caught the guy. I'm thankful that we have so many amazing people on that campus that were willing to risk their lives to save other people's lives. And I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful that my friends are alive. I feel that it's very unfortunate that a lot of people got hurt. I don't know what I would do if somebody I actually knew personally got hurt. I would not be able to go back on that campus. I wouldn't be able to go back probably, but I'm thankful that that didn't happen. But luckily, what I always try to tell myself, and I don't know what you guys believe, but I always try to tell myself that this life isn't the end. Death at the end of this life is not the end. It's only the beginning, because there is another life waiting for us after this one ends. That's going to be so much better. At least if you're a good person, it is. That's just kind of what I try to tell myself. We're all going to die someday. So you have to learn how to not dwell on it so much. And it's so much easier said than done. But I do believe that there is so much more awaiting us after this life. I really hope the victims rest in peace. I do. I feel really horrible. I know I keep saying that, but I don't know how else to feel. I feel kind of numb to it. I feel like I have been kind of trying to distract myself, trying to pretend like things are normal, but things aren't normal. And we hear about all these shootings, Parkland, Sandy Hook, Columbine, Virginia Tech. We just hear about all this stuff, and it's like now it's like it finally happened. Like it was only a matter of time before it happened at my school. So I think that's why I wasn't so surprised about it, like hearing that it was happening there. It was more so like, oh, like it's here now. And I don't know. I love UNCC. I have so many memories from that school. I had so much fun at that school. It is an amazing school. Out of my elementary, middle, and high school, I would say UNCC was the best school I attended out of all of the 4 schools I went to. I met people there that I will know for the rest of my life, I believe. I just think we have to rise above it. We can't be scared to go everywhere just because something like that happened. Otherwise, we're just going to stay in our houses all the time. And that's not a really good life, honestly, in my opinion. As somebody that's a homebody and I love to be at home, it's just not a good life. You have to get out there and do things. We're never going to be 100% safe, unfortunately, but we can make the most of our time here and be thankful for what we do have. Tell your loved ones that you love them any chance you get. And if you feel like somebody needs help or somebody's going through something, you feel like someone's a little off, talk to them, try to get them help if you can. If we are more aware of people and how they're feeling and how they're acting, we can probably prevent things like this from happening so much more. But I think that's all I have to say. UNCC is a great school. I don't want it to seem like that school isn't amazing, because it absolutely is. I hope everybody that was there on campus when it happened get the therapy and the counseling that they need. I know 2 of the Parkland survivors actually committed suicide after the shooting there. I think this was some months ago, because people see that stuff with their own eyes and they have PTSD afterwards and they can't deal with it, so they commit suicide. And I don't want that to happen to anybody that was on the UNCC campus when this happened, or wasn't on the campus. I just want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to feel loved. I want everybody to grow from this and to rise above it as much as they can. But thank you guys so much for watching. There has to be some sort of change made, but from what I see, nothing is changing in this country, because nothing is changing. Nothing has changed. And I don't know when and if anything will change. But I do believe that God is going to handle everything. I really do. No matter if it's going to be years from now, who knows? But I feel like at the end of the day, everything will be handled when the time comes. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And stay safe. Talk to somebody if you need to. Tell your loved ones you love them. And rise above this violence and all of these horrible things happening in our world. Thank you guys.